Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to have someone face you at all times, an enemy. Someone sent me a link to a forum and showing me a way of doing this, but I'd already had help from someone else, Keenan the Pro. He gave me a hand figuring out this way, and I do believe that this is a lot more simpler, so I'm going to show this way. But first, I just want to show you a few changes I would make to a first-person character before actually starting a game. So the first one, if we go into the chrome ball, I would move the linear damping just up to 90 and take the restitution all the way down. Also, for the height of the camera and the speed of the right stick, I like to grab a set value event and a variable data source. And if we select both of these two input operators and select operand 2 with Y and attach it to this variable data source, and then if we come down here, you also want to take this and take the operand 1 and also attach it to this data source, or you could attach it to a separate data source depending. This changes the height of the camera and this changes the speed that the camera will move when you use the right analog stick. So then set, and we're going to set it to about, for me personally, I use about 135 for the both of them. And then if you look at this camera, just take the event filter from that and attach it to this. So as soon as the game starts, all three of these two input operators will turn to 1.35. And that'll just make, I think, for a smoother character. That's just my opinion anyway. Also the jump, some of you might know that if you leave the jump how it is now, you can sort of climb up buildings and stuff, and that ain't too great. So what I'm going to do is delete this hit trigger and turn this controller Y off, and then we're going to get another hit trigger out and we're going to start fresh, and we're going to say if the object instance here, which is the chrome ball, if it's touching the ground, so we'll select that one, and if you've got anything else in your map, say you're building it in a building and you want to be able to jump inside the building, you will have to select it either by an instance or a type, depending on how many of the objects you've got in the map, I suppose. So if I select that as well, it'll allow me to jump on that. Oh, we're not finished there. Disable after hit, and on active, click here, and on leave, we click off. So when it's active, when you're touching the ground or anything else you've selected, the Y button will be on, but as soon as you leave the ground, it will come off. So if I test the track, the jump works fine on anything you've selected, but I will not be able to climb. If we just run over here quick, I will not be able to climb up walls and stuff like that, as long as they're not selected. Oh, I can't even jump on this because I haven't selected this concrete here, but as you can see, I can't press Y anyway. So that's just a few little changes I would make. But let's get to the good stuff anyway. We're going to make an enemy come towards us. For this, I'm just going to use... I'll use this. I'll put him over there. Alright, now let's get out some stuff that we need. First off, you're going to need a set of object position events and a curved data source. So we're going to take the interval trigger, object position event. Sorry, not a curved data source actually. I didn't mean to say that. We're going to take one of these. If you haven't got the DLC, you can use the object info data sources, but you should have the DLC anyway. Select all three of these positions, take them over to here. Also, we're going to need to get out a camera, and we're going to have to select the camera as our target here. And then this vector object info will be the enemy. So as soon as we press select, the camera goes straight to the enemy's position. Now if we go in here, we take the range all the way down and take the field of view all the way down to 10. Advanced camera settings, we're going to have a target, and our target will be the chrome ball. So now wherever this camera is, it will be facing that chrome ball. Right, and then we need to get the angle from the camera. So again, in here we're going to take one of these object info data sources and we're going to move it over to angle X and select the camera. And then if we copy out these, we're going to change this up a bit though. We're not even going to modify the position of this one. We are going to modify the rotation. The yaw of the rotation, we're going to select to the angle X. And our target will be the gargoyle. You notice when I press select, it does start a little bit off. I'll show you. Let me just check if this is all working first. Yeah, see, he's moving. So what you've got to do basically is set up his start position. So if he's facing that way, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to change his yaw until, just keep hitting select until you're happy with the way he's facing towards your character. So a little bit more this way, tabs more. I'm happy with that. Test the track. Now what he's doing here is he's doing the opposite of what we're doing. So we're going to have to take a one input operator. I'm not sure if that's what it's called. It is called that. And we're just going to reverse the outcome of this. So if we hit Y on the operand and select the angle X, then in the object position event, the yaw will now go to the operator instead. But what you will notice is that has gone back to that position. Sorry, it's changed position again. So we're going to have to figure out there we go. That's about right, maybe a little bit more. But you'll see now that no, we've definitely got to get him facing. Right, so a little bit more this way. Let's have a look at that. A little bit more. So yeah, that's the tricky part really, the only tricky part. And now you'll see that wherever I move, he will look at me constantly. And if you combine this with the other tutorial, I'll put a link in the description. That will teach you how to get the enemy to follow you as well. Then you've got an enemy that will follow you and constantly face your direction.